In the underwater kingdom of Aqualis, the people prepared for a great celebration. Their queen, Queen Nerissa, was close to giving birth, and everyone believed a princess would soon arrive, just as it had always been for royal bloodlines. But not everyone was happy. Her younger sister, Princess Morana, had waited for years, hoping the throne would someday be hers. As Nerissa's belly grew, Morana's jealousy grew even faster. She smiled in public, but hatred lived in her heart. On the night Nerissa went into labor, a storm rumbled through the ocean currents. That same night, another woman arrived at the palace gates. Her name was Lirana, and she too was in labor. The guards allowed her into the birthing chambers so she could be helped by the palace midwife, Marina. Morana watched Lirana enter and felt something she had not felt in years: opportunity. She met Marina in a dark coral passage and whispered her wicked plan. She would pay the midwife a fortune of pearls and gold if she switched Nerissa's baby with Lirana's child. At first, Marina refused, terrified of the consequences, but the wealth Morana offered was enough to drown her fear. She agreed. Inside the chambers, two cries echoed in the night: a girl and a boy. Marina took the baby girl born to Queen Nerissa and handed her to Lirena. Then she placed the baby boy from Lirena into Nerissa's arms. When the queen awoke and saw the child, she was confused and shaken. "A boy?" she said weakly. "That is not possible. Royal births have always been daughters." But Marina bowed her head and lied with a steady voice. "My queen, you gave birth to a son." Outside, Morana pretended to be shocked like everyone else, but deep in her wicked heart, she was already tasting the throne. That night changed everything, but the worst was still to come. Morana lingered in the shadows of the birthing chamber, her eyes cold and calculating. She had already secured the throne, but one loose end remained: the midwife, Marina. That night, Morana poisoned Marina, ensuring the midwife would never reveal the truth. And as the midwife's life slipped away quietly beneath the waves, Morana turned her attention to Queen Nerissa. She offered the queen a cup, sweet with pearls and honey, but laced with her silent poison. Queen Nerissa drank, and moments later, her body went limp, her life claimed beneath the waters she had ruled. The kingdom wept for their beloved queen, mourning the tragic loss they could scarcely understand. With Nerissa gone, the elders crowned Princess Morana as the new queen of Aqualis. 16 years passed under Morana's reign. At first, the kingdom seemed prosperous, but soon subtle signs of imbalance appeared. Currents ran wild, coral faded, and the fish no longer swam near the palace. Queen Morana watched her kingdom carefully, pretending all was well, but the ocean no longer obeyed her commands. Far from the palace, the daughter of Queen Nerissa thrived under Lirana's care. Her name was Serena, 16 years old now, with long flowing black hair, caramel skin, and eyes that shimmered like the sunlit waves. She could hear the currents, feel the pulse of the ocean, and communicate with fish in ways no ordinary mermaid could. Lirana watched in awe as Serena guided schools of fish through mazes of coral and calmed small whirlpools with a mere gesture of her hand. Back at the palace, the citizens began to whisper. Something was wrong. Advisors noticed storms that Morana could not quell, tides she could not control, and the ocean itself seemed restless beneath her rule. Strange phenomena occurred. Glowing bubbles formed mysterious symbols in the water, currents shifted unpredictably, and fish swam in patterns that seemed almost deliberate. Rumors spread of a mermaid child with the favor of the sea, a girl destined to restore balance to Aqualis. Far away from the palace, Serena felt an unshakable pull. The ocean whispered her name, the waves guiding her toward her true destiny. And as the waters swirled violently, carrying voices of the past and secrets of the deep, Serena realized she was no ordinary mermaid. She was the rightful heir of Aqualis. Somewhere, in the shadow of the throne she never knew was hers, Queen Morana sensed a tremor in her power, and the ocean's wrath had only just begun. The royal festival of Aqualis began under a tense gray sky. The palace was crowded with mermaids celebrating the legacy of the throne, but something felt wrong. The royal throne, usually radiant, now seemed dim, its golden glow flickering and dividing as if it recognized two claimants. Serena, hovering near the coral entrance of the palace, felt the ocean's urgency. "A storm is coming! Everyone must take cover!" she shouted, her voice carried clearly through the water. The crowd panicked, swimming quickly to safety just as a violent storm surged, dark waves crashing against the palace walls. Tiny fish scattered, and glowing coral flickered under the storm's force. The mermaids gasped at the ferocity of the sea. Queen Morana tried to steady herself and grasped the royal staff, but it did not glitter. The crowd noticed immediately, whispers spreading, "Something is wrong. The throne rejects her." One of the elders, trembling, gently lifted the staff from Morana's hands and passed it to Serena. The moment she touched it, the staff blazed with brilliant colors, pink, turquoise, and gold flowing in shimmering light throughout the palace. Gasps filled the waters. Mermaids turned, eyes wide as the ocean seemed to pulse in approval of its rightful heir. Morana's face twisted with rage. "If I cannot be queen, then no one will!" she screamed, lunging toward Serena with a sharp coral dagger. Before she could strike, a massive shark, summoned by the ocean's will, surged from the deep and swallowed Morana whole. The waters calmed instantly, the storm subsiding as the rightful balance returned. Serena floated above the staff, her pink tail glimmering in the newfound light, the ocean singing around her. The throne of Aqualis had chosen its true queen, and the kingdom finally knew peace. What happened to the child? Do you remember the boy Lorana gave birth to? That was given to the queen? Want to find out? Subscribe now to get notified when I post part 2.